To get started, I will be using 4 cups of water. I will also be using 1 12-ounce can of evaporated milk. You could also use whole milk or half and half. That works too. Here I have a 1/3 cup of Maseca. If you don't know what Maseca is, read the description below this video. I'll explain there. I'm also going to be adding a 1/3 cup of hot water to the Maseca. Next, I will be using around 1 to 2 ounces of piloncillo, or you could also use dark brown sugar. Here I just want to show you, I basically shaved off the top of this 8-ounce cone of piloncillo, so it's somewhere between 1 to 2 ounces. Here I have a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I will be adding that to the Maseca. I'm going to go ahead and add that now. And again, you can do salt to taste, but a 1/4 teaspoon is a good place to start. I'm also going to be adding, which is optional, a couple of cloves, whole cloves, and whole allspice berries. This is optional. I just fished these out of some mulling spice. And I'm also going to be adding 1 cinnamon stick. That is not optional. You want to add that. And of course, the star of the show, 1 tablet of Mexican hot chocolate. This is a 3.1 ounce tablet of Abuelita Mexican hot chocolate. You could also use Ibarra if you can get your hands on that. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is combine the Maseca with the hot water. Now remember, I did add that salt on top of the Maseca, so I'm going to give that a mix and pour it right into the water and combine that well. I like to do this beforehand because it does help prevent clumpiness in your hot chocolate mixture when you're trying to put the champurrado together, when you're cooking it or simmering it. Now, if you want to add the Maseca right into the pot, just be forewarned, you need to mix very well or you'll have clumps. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just add my 4 cups of water into my pot. And again, for those of you curious about this pot, I will put the link below this video so you can check it out for yourself. Okay, so 4 cups of water in the pot, and now I'm going to add my spices, which is the cinnamon stick, the whole clove, and whole allspice berries. If you cannot find the cloves and berries, don't worry about it. Just add the cinnamon stick. That works too. Sometimes if I have whole anise, I will do that as well. It is up to you, but the cinnamon stick, yeah, you should probably shoot for that. Okay, so now that my water is up to a simmer, I'm going to cover it with a lid and put the heat on low and let it simmer covered for around 10 to 15 minutes. Basically, I'm making like a cinnamon spice tea at this point. Okay, so it has been around 15 minutes, and as you can see, everything is steeped well. So now I'm just going to sieve out all the bits and cinnamon and whole spices and pour it right back into the pan, or my pot, that is. And then I'm going to start adding the other ingredients. And again, for the ingredients and measurements, please check the description below this video. I like to put additional video links and information there. Okay, so I've turned my heat back on, and I want to mention that I am working with a medium to low heat. You do not want to boil and burn anything. And working with a low heat also ensures that your Maseca will dissolve and incorporate better with the liquid before it has a chance to clump up. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so the piloncillo is going in. I'm also going to be adding my Mexican hot chocolate tablet, which I broke just to help dissolve better. And I'm also going to add the evaporated milk. Now, if you want to change the ratios of the liquid, less water, more milk, go right ahead. I'm just doing it the way we did it when I was younger because guess what? Water was more accessible than milk and it made it stretch. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So you want to stir this, dissolve this, combine it. It's going to take about 5 minutes. And after continuously stirring, everything is dissolved and mixed well, then you want to add the Maseca. And I also want to add another tip with the Maseca. When you add the Maseca, especially like the recipe that I'm giving you, you might find like, oh, this is still a little too watery. I want it, thicker. Just bear in mind that the longer this sets off the heat, it will definitely thicken. It'll turn into sludge. So if you right off the bat want it super thick as you're simmering and stirring, that's fine. But just remember, 5 minutes later, you're going to end up with basically grits. So this is why initially, once everything's mixed and done, it does seem, you know, less thick than you probably would imagine, but it thickens as it sets. So again, you can change the ratios of the Maseca into this mixture, but just bear in mind, it will thicken the longer it sets. So this is why I only use a 1/3 cup of Maseca. Okay, so Maseca in, I'm going to continuously whisk and stir this, again, trying to prevent clumps and lumps. And after about 15 minutes of whisking, this is your end result. And again, it is thick, at least the way I like it, but the longer it sets, maybe 5 minutes later, trust me, it'll thicken even more because the liquid is going to continuously saturate that ground corn that you added, that's Maseca. So this is done. My house smells fantastic. I wish I could drink a big cup at this point, but you know what? My family will definitely enjoy this. So I definitely hope you guys give this a try, and shout out to my commenters and subscribers that requested this video. Absolutely love when you guys request stuff and give me ideas. So I hope you try this recipe. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.